The 2026 Jeep Gladiator Muscle Edition isn't just another pickup. It's Jeep's boldest statement yet, blending raw muscle car attitude with true off-road DNA. Imagine a truck that doesn't just haul, it growls, roars, and dominates the road like no other in its class. With a design that screams power and performance numbers that challenge even traditional muscle legends, this Gladiator is rewriting what a pickup can be. But does it truly deliver the muscle it promises? Or is it just flexing with flashy looks? Stick around, because what you're about to see might completely change how you look at pickups. When Jeep announced the Gladiator Muscle Edition, it immediately sparked curiosity across the automotive world. After all, Jeep has long been known for rugged off-roaders like the Wrangler, vehicles built to conquer trails and push limits. But this time, they've taken a bold turn, bringing muscle car DNA into the pickup truck segment. The result is a machine that's designed not just to climb rocks, but to dominate highways with attitude and raw power. This move is more than just a trim update or a styling refresh. It's Jeep tapping into America's love for both pickups and muscle cars, two of the most iconic segments of the market. And let's be real, in today's competitive truck landscape, where Ford, Ram, and Chevy are all pushing boundaries with performance editions, Jeep had to step in with something that truly stands out. The 2026 Gladiator Muscle Edition is aimed squarely at drivers who don't want to choose between utility and excitement. It's for the weekend warrior who wants a truck that looks as aggressive as it feels. And for enthusiasts who crave that blend of practicality with heart-pounding performance. But here's the real question. Has Jeep truly created a pickup that can live up to the muscle name? Or is this just a flashy badge with more bark than bite? We're about to break down everything you need to know, from its bold design to what's hiding under the hood. Now, let's dive into what makes the 2026 Jeep Gladiator Muscle Edition more than just a tough name. At first glance, the exterior tells the story loud and clear. This isn't the standard Gladiator you've seen cruising around. The front grille is bolder, with thicker vertical slots that nod to Jeep's heritage but carry a sharper, more aggressive tone. The hood features muscular sculpting and a functional air intake, subtle reminders that this pickup is built to move fast and breathe power. Wide fender flares, larger performance tires, and a lowered stance compared to the standard Gladiator give it that unmistakable muscle truck posture, ready to pounce whether it's at a stoplight or trailhead. Step inside, and the transformation continues. Jeep didn't just slap in new seats and call it a day. The cabin gets heavily bolstered sports seating wrapped in premium leather with contrast stitching, making it feel both athletic and upscale. A flat-bottom steering wheel, aluminum pedals, and a unique digital cluster that flashes muscle-inspired graphics set the tone for performance driving. The infotainment system is still Jeep's intuitive Uconnect, but now with special drive modes and performance readouts baked in. Think 0 to 60 timers, G-force meters, and even engine data that hardcore enthusiasts love to monitor. Of course, the real question is, what's under the hood? And this is where things get interesting. The Muscle Edition swaps the standard Gladiator's V6 for a performance-tuned V8 rumored to push out well over 470 horsepower. That kind of output doesn't just make it quick for a truck. It puts it in the same conversation as Dodge muscle cars and performance SUVs. Jeep claims it can sprint from 0 to 60 in under 5 seconds, which is downright wild for a mid-size pickup. Pair that with a throaty exhaust note tuned to give you that chest-rumbling muscle car feel, and you've got a pickup that doesn't just perform. It announces itself, but it's not all brute force. Jeep knows its buyers demand utility, so towing capacity still comes in strong, sitting north of 7,000 pounds. Bed functionality remains practical, with multiple tie-down points and a ruggedized liner. The Muscle Edition doesn't compromise the truck part of its identity. It simply layers performance on top. Safety and tech haven't been overlooked either. Standard features include adaptive cruise control, lane keeping assist, blind spot monitoring, and a surround view camera system, making daily driving less of a chore and more of an event. Of course, no vehicle is perfect, and here's where things get tricky. Fuel economy is expected to take a noticeable hit compared to standard Gladiator models. And while the lowered stance looks aggressive, some hardcore off-roaders may feel it takes away a bit of the Gladiator's trail capability. Jeep seems to be betting that buyers of this edition care more about speed and presence than climbing over boulders. So, Has Jeep struck the perfect balance between utility and performance? Or have they sacrificed too much of their off-road DNA for street power? In the next section, we'll break down the highlights and the drawbacks that could make or break this truck for you. And here's the moment everyone has been waiting for, the real test. Numbers and styling are one thing, but how does the 2026 Jeep Gladiator Muscle Edition actually feel when you put your foot down? The answer hits instantly. The second you press the throttle, the truck lunges forward with a ferocity you simply don't expect from a mid-size pickup. That V8 roar isn't just noise. It's a full-bodied growl that shakes the cabin and echoes like a classic muscle car, yet it's harnessed with modern stability and control. The acceleration is shocking. 0 to 60 in just under 5 seconds. For context, that's sports car territory, faster than some Mustangs, Camaros, and even a few European luxury sedans. You can feel the torque throwing you back into the seat. But what's even more surprising is how composed it stays while doing it. The steering is sharper than a traditional truck, and the suspension, tuned for performance, keeps it planted in corners without that usual top-heavy sway. But here's the twist. While the Muscle Edition dominates on pavement, it doesn't completely abandon its Jeep heritage. We took it onto light trails, and although the lowered stance means it won't crawl like a standard Gladiator, it still handled dirt paths and uneven ground with confidence. It's not the rock crawler version of Jeep, but it's also not pretending to be. This is a truck built for a different kind of thrill. The most surprising part? It actually delivers on the promise of being both a functional pickup and a muscle machine. The bed still holds, the cabin still seats 5, but the driving experience? That's where it transforms. This is the first time you can honestly say a Jeep pickup feels like a muscle car behind the wheel. So, has Jeep just created a whole new category, a true muscle truck? Or will its compromises leave traditional Jeep fans divided? Let's break it all down in the final verdict. So, where does all of this leave us with the 2026 Jeep Gladiator Muscle Edition, after putting it through its paces? One thing is clear, Jeep wasn't bluffing when they called this a Muscle Edition. This truck really does blur the line between rugged utility and straight-up muscle car performance. The aggressive styling, the raw V8 power, the growling exhaust, those are the highlights that make it stand out in a crowded pickup market. Add to that a cabin filled with performance-focused details and modern tech, and you've got a package that feels fresh and exciting. Of course, it's not perfect. The lowered stance means hardcore off-roaders might feel left out, and fuel economy is definitely going to sting at the pump. But let's be real, buyers in this segment aren't shopping for efficiency. They want presence, performance, and that adrenaline rush every time they hit the gas. And on those fronts, the Gladiator Muscle Edition delivers. So who is this truck really for? It's perfect for drivers who want the functionality of a pickup, but crave the personality of a muscle car. Weekend warriors who want to tow, haul, and still show up at a car meet with something that turns heads will love it. On the flip side, if you're buying a Jeep purely for off-road trails, the standard Gladiator or Wrangler still makes more sense. In the bigger picture, this launch signals something important. Automakers are realizing that buyers don't want to compromise. They want vehicles that can check multiple boxes at once. The Gladiator Muscle Edition could very well kickstart a trend of performance-driven pickups that aren't afraid to lean into muscle car heritage. At the end of the day, Jeep has built something bold, loud, and undeniably fun. The only question left is, does this muscle truck fit your lifestyle, or is it just too wild for the everyday drive? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Hit that like button if you enjoyed the review, and don't forget to subscribe for more in-depth looks at the cars shaping tomorrow's roads.